Hey, hey guys, can I gather all your attention to something real fast? Right now I'm still kind of just running one of the draft renders, trying to get all my settings set up properly. But this is kind of the level of development that we're looking for here, right? And it's exactly the same color, materials palette that I used in the previous assignment. I just modified some of those settings in order to be set properly for this application, which means more versions of what I was working with before. So if you refer back to our original composition, right, a lot of the color palette that I was working with there made its way into my actual architectural composition. Now it's not an exact carbon copy, right? Like the same way we took our definition in Grasshopper for the panels and stuff, and it was an exact uh, adaptation of what our original composition was. We're not doing exactly the same material applications that you see here, right? So this is our opportunity to deviate from it. So what I focused on with this particular, configuration of translucencies and opaque planes and stuff like that was basically the balance of colors and some of the accent features. So I tried to focus on, kind of like large gray panels, some tan panels, with some dark and light, basically beam type elements, right? So just wherever they show up, I started playing with that, and I'm not done playing with it yet. But the thing that I wanted to show you here is that we can actually reduce a lot of our reliance upon color and try to capture more of the essence of a thing using lighting. So what you'll see here in my particular definition is that I created. Oh, it won't pull it up, will it? Oh yeah, it will. Whoa, hang on. I created an emitter for interior emitter fill is what I called it, right? And the objective of that was so that I don't actually have to make an opaque plane that's tan to fill up that much of the environment, right? So I figured what I would do for that instead is to actually create an emitter that's going to give me a tan sort of ambiance in the space. Okay, so all I really did was added a couple of planes that shine upward on each of my levels that would render the space brighter with a hint of a yellow tone. So I'm not sure if you can see that on the projector very well. I'll go really extreme for a moment. So there you can see that it really lit it up. But obviously you wouldn't bump it up that far. Let's see. Probably a little more than that. Something like that. Anyway, so I could play with the settings all day to balance it out. But how did I do that, right? So this is kind of the whole point of this video is how did I do that little move to get it some ambient lighting? The way that I went about doing that was basically a series of planes that I copied and duplicated. It kind of just hovers like an inch or so above each of my floor plates. And the good thing is with my perspective down here, you can't really see those plates. In fact, this one would have to be hidden if I needed that. But right now, in this particular perspective, it's not necessary, right? When I get into my interior views, I'll probably want to actually turn those off, and that's what these layers are doing here. So I would turn off L1, 2, 3, and 4, and then just start to use, light fills, things that aren't really in the scene in order to get the quality of the light reading the way I want it to. Okay, so so that's the level of command over the software I'm kind of hoping that at this stage you have, is that you can make those kinds of decisions, right? You can think about material composition as it relates to a very simple design concept, and then start to apply it with your lighting tools, some translucencies, basic exterior environments or interior environments, and get to a point where you can create 6 images that read like a family. So right now this is really just the first one. I'm going to keep going with a few here today with you, but at this stage, do you have any questions?
It has to, we have to use the same colors as our color palette, like are that to...
Theoretically, yes. It should be the same color palette. Like, I won't say you have to use exactly those colors. And most importantly, you don't have to use exactly that arrangement of colors. For instance, I have no yellows, right? I wound up with a yellow one here, but I decided yellow was too much of a deviation from the color palette for me to use. So all I have are the tans, the whites, the blues, and the kind of purplishes. Okay? Does that answer your question accurately? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I take it that means you understand what we're doing and that things are going well. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be around.